Hi, I'm Marilyn, and today we are going to talk about oil pulling. This is something I had never heard of before, and my husband Steve came home one day and was like, have you heard of oil pulling? And he had seen something about it online, and he had me look it up, and it just sounds really cool. So I'll go over some of the benefits of it later, and especially in the post, but I just wanted to kind of do a little how-to, and then we'll go from there. There are several different kinds of oil you can use for oil pulling. I chose coconut oil mainly because coconut pie is my favorite pie, so I figured coconut oil couldn't be all that bad. I really like the taste of coconut oil or coconut, the smell of coconut, so I don't have an aversion to coconut, so I went ahead and chose it. Plus, the coconut oil has several other health benefits that I kind of enjoyed when I was studying up on it, so I thought I'll go with this. Coconut oil nutrition, just from the back of the package, it says may support the structure and function of the immune system, cardiovascular system, healthy metabolism and energy production, hair, skin, and body care. So it covers everything, I guess. But I just ran to my local health food store, picked up this tub. This is 16 ounces, and I paid about $15 or $16 for it. So I really, truly, when Steve told me about oil pulling and having to buy these special oils and I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to cost at least twice of what this actually cost. So I was pretty thrilled with $15 or $16. What interests me the most about oil pulling is that from a detoxifying standpoint, it detoxifies the body. This kind of goes back to the reason I'm loving the baking soda and vinegar hair wash so much. It detoxifies the body, it cleanses the body without disturbing the natural balance of the body, like some more harsh chemical detoxifiers do, even the teas and stuff that are just a little bit more strong and stringent and a little harder on the body and a little bit more rough to go through. This is a lot more natural, balancing, detoxifying option. It's more of a daily routine or a weekly regimen, or however often you choose to do it, instead of a one-shot deal or a 3-day, drink this for 3 days kind of thing. So this is a lot more long-term, but just the gentleness and the natural balance, equilibrium really appealed to me. On top of detoxifying, this oil pulling process is also supposed to help us with our allergies, with any sinus issues that we might have. There's a whole list of different immune things that it helps with and helps keep our body clear from. It's also supposed to speed up metabolism, which will help with a little bit of weight loss supposedly, and just a whole slew of other things. So there are a whole lot of benefits to not only oil pulling with the coconut oil, but oil pulling in general. So I'm really excited about that. If you look it up online, you can literally just Google oil pulling, and Pandora's box will open up to you. So feel free to not just take my word for it. I will put some links below, some of the ones that were a little bit more helpful to me in my research, and so then you can check it out and see what you think, see if you agree and want to embark on this with me, on this 1,000 Days Younger mission. So without further ado, here's how it actually works. Every day, I say that every day. I'm choosing to do it every day. There are people who do it 3 times a day, which I really don't know how they do that because it's supposed to be done on an empty stomach. There are people who do it every other day, just kind of on more as needed basis. I'm a creature of habit. I like regimen. I'm doing it every day. On an empty stomach, so I'm choosing first thing in the mornings. You take a tablespoon of coconut oil, you swish it around in your mouth for 15 or 20 minutes. And then apparently at first it's going to have a more puddingy consistency, a little bit thicker, but whenever it becomes a more milky consistency, that's when it's okay to spit it out. What I read was that we really focus on not just swishing it back and forth or one way or another, but really swish it all through your mouth, all through your teeth. But to be very careful not to swallow any, because as this liquid gets more and more toxic, you certainly don't want to just swallow this really concentrated toxic liquid back down. So be very careful not to swallow. So we're going to do this. Some of the keys in looking for your oil, whichever flavor you choose, and I will put in the down below in the section, the explanatory section down below, what other oils you can use. But you look for organic and cold press. Those were two real keys. So look for those. And you open it up. I have a big mouth, but this sure looks like a lot. Here's what it looks like. Can you see that? So we're going to put this, I'm going to put this in my mouth. I'm going to swish it around for 15 or 20 minutes until it gets that milky consistency. Then I'm going to spit it out. I'm going to rinse my mouth very thoroughly, and then I'm going to follow up by brushing my teeth. But the key is not to brush our teeth with regular toothpaste. And I haven't found the reason why not to use regular toothpaste, but it's a big no-no. So it says to use baking soda instead, which of course I have on hand because I'm a baking soda fanatic. So swish this around, spit it out, rinse real thoroughly, brush my teeth and mouth very thoroughly, and then we'll be back. Hello. Not gonna spit in front of me. Okay, so now that I've done it, one thing I will say is the coconut oil, even if you don't like coconut flavoring or whatnot, you might be able to stand the coconut oil. It's very, very mild. Passing the time for 20 minutes isn't all that bad, and at first I didn't know how I was going to be able to continually swish around this thick consistency stuff, but it must have a real low heating point, because it really dissolves very quickly into a liquid that's easy to just swish around. So it's really not as overwhelming as it looks at first. But now I'm going to go brush my teeth with baking soda and my mouth very thoroughly, and I'll continue to check in and let you know how it's going. I hope you'll try it. Check out the links below, and good luck. Okay, so here's the update. I am about 1 month into my oil pulling project. As you can see, I've almost finished off my first 16-ounce container of my coconut oil. So it's going well. I've enjoyed it. As you can see from the place on my face, I'm having some of the normal detox kind of things going on still. I've taken a couple of breaks here and there, a day or two, at a time, just whenever some of the detox stuff, because this is a detox essentially through the mouth. I don't know about what anyone else deals with, but I've had some mouth ulcers, and as those have come up, I've taken a couple of days break to kind of let those heal and go away, because they don't feel real great. But other than that, I've been really pleased, and some of the things that I think are the cause of the couple of different mouth ulcers I've got have been just when I've maybe been in a rush and I haven't been paying as close attention, and so I haven't cleaned my mouth as well as I should have after I've done the oil pulling. So I just want to stress, I keep my baking soda for my after oil pull tooth washing or mouth washing. I keep it in an airtight container so that I don't have to deal with some baking soda box mess and things like that. But I've just, since I've been through the two different rounds of mouth ulcers, I've really made it a point to take my time and be super thorough with my tooth cleaning and with my mouth cleaning. I brush my tongue, I really swish baking soda water all through my mouth, just swish around just like I've just done with the oil pulling, so that way I can really get all those toxins out of my mouth and they're not sitting there on my teeth, on my gums, anywhere in my mouth in order to cause problems. Other than that, I think it's been great. I noticed, especially the first few weeks, that I dropped a couple of pounds just without changing anything. In fact, I was eating buku sweets, so it has nothing to do with my diet or exercise regimen, which is awesome. But other than that, it's just felt great. I hadn't had any problem stomaching it, the coconut oil or anything like that. It's a real mild flavor, and I just do it every day in the mornings, except those few times when I've taken a break. I've read things that said that some people do it every day, some people do it several times a day, which I can't wrap my head around since you really need to do it on an empty stomach, and some people do it maybe just 2 or 3 times a week. So I haven't found any tried and true across the board regimen that works perfectly for everybody. So I think you just need to use whatever works best for you. I work best with heavy routine, so I think every day works best for me. So I do it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and I swish it around while I'm showering. I get out of the shower, I brush my teeth and my mouth, and I go on about my day. Now, one time early on, I did do it late at night. I did do the oil pulling late at night on a full stomach, and I thought I was going to hurl. It was not pretty. I didn't go to that extreme, but I can definitely see why everything I read tells you to do it on an empty stomach. I don't know what it is necessarily. I don't understand all the science behind it, but I do recommend always sticking to the rule of doing it on an empty stomach. So that's another reason why I really stick to the early morning regimen instead of trying to save it for late at night, because I don't know about you, but I am very rarely have an empty stomach late at night, because that's when I do most of my snacking. So anyway, I hope it's going this well for everyone else. I'm going to check in again pretty soon, and we'll go from there.